Greetings Libra, hey, welcome to your November reading with me. Thank you for joining everyone, and thank you to any new subscribers. This is your November reading for 2019. So I'm doing the reading on the full moon of October, which is an Aries full moon. It's quite a feisty one. So if any of you tune into this reading as I upload it, I think you'll find the energies around are catapulting us into the month of November. The moons are playing a relatively important part now as the year comes to an end, because we're halfway between the cyclical period of the last eclipse, which was in July, and the new eclipse coming, which is on December the 26th, which is the last eclipse for 2019. So the moons are playing a role. Whether or not that affects you guys in any great way, I'm unsure. But some of the other things for November are Mercury goes direct, Neptune goes direct. We have the 1111 portal, which is a really nice one to sort of zone in on and pick up that vibrational frequency that's available. We have a full moon in Taurus for the month of November, which will be quite grounding and could have to do with finances, work, our base chakra, home, our family and soul tribe. It's a universal month of 5. But they're just a few of the things that are going on, because they are really busy months that we are dealing with as we kind of morph into 2020, to be honest. And of course 2020 is a new decade that's coming, so this is a great time to set your intentions of what it is that you are wanting to manifest as the decade takes shape. Because this is the beginning of a new decade, the effort that you put in right now will have long-term perturbations throughout the 10 years coming. So it's worth really aiming for this goal as you set into the 2020s, and I can't really reiterate that enough. But some of the messages I received for you guys personally were to have confidence in moving forward, and then courage and faith. And I thought, I wonder what you needed the courage and faith for. But for some reason, that didn't necessarily mean that you were in a situation that needed it. I wondered if some of you already have the courage and faith. Also the term blessing in disguise, and it was sort of saying that blessings are in every teaching, even the most difficult. To focus on your base chakra might be invaluable for some of you, and of course that is about finances, career, the home, the soul tribe, which is what I've just mentioned before. It's also about that area of the body as well, so focusing on the lower regions of the body, the hips, the thighs, the abdomen, the colon, intestines, the sex organs. They might all be relative as well. Cleansing, but the word water came with that, and I saw water as being a really beneficial thing for you guys. So whether it was drinking water or spending time by water, which felt that it would be harmonizing to you. Also resting to harness health in the terms of enjoyment and gaining enjoyment. So I do see an enjoyment for you in the month. It's funny, Enzo's popped in a couple of times for the readings this month. He comes in very briefly, and he selectively only chooses who he wants to come in for. If some of you know, Enzo had a particularly bad health scare a couple of months ago, but he has since become a lot healthier again. And so whether or not, when an animal chooses to pop in for a reading, I sometimes try and assimilate what the background message of that is. Could he be suggesting that you guys are coming into a phase of better health, or that if you have had a period where there's been something out of kilter, then it's moving forward fast, and that there is a feeling of better health around. That's a message that Enzo can bring in anyhow. So coming back to you guys, let's start with this deck over here. So this is for Libra for November 2019. What's in store for them, and what would you like them to focus on or to know or understand? So bearing in mind, as I say, I think these readings will take you into 2020 in quite a big way. And so your first card out being a major arcana and landing on its side like that, to me that makes me think that it's in the process of evolution. So it's neither up or reversed, it's going along horizontally. So the Death card is, I wish they'd never named it Death. I wish they'd named it Rebirth, because a lot of people don't like the Death card, but it's very symbolic of a great change coming, an evolutionary process in your life whereby you feel some sort of, for some reason I'm going to say overhaul, but I don't know that overhaul is the correct terminology. Anyhow, it's a process of realizing that something about your being, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, or physical, is altering, and that you are moving into a new morphos, a metamorphosis, like the butterfly cycle and the caterpillars. So there's nothing more exciting than the feeling of change and moving into the new dawn that's coming. So really powerful card for you guys to get. And of course you've just had the birthday month pass by, and in that cycle you may have begun this process of evolution as you are moving into the new decade. And remember, it came out on the horizontal, so it's a process that is still evolving for you. Let's see what else is coming for Librans. This is for Libra for 2020. I am rushing things, aren't I? For 2019, for November. And then another major arcana, and this time she, because it's an androgynous angel, is upside down, meaning a requirement perhaps for balance. And remember I said water, so there's a card projecting water as well. And the Temperance card is about balance. So for some of you, maybe there is a lack of balance at the moment, or the message of balance could be quite relevant to you in some way or another, and to apply a little bit of that to you. Some of you may be feeling lightheaded, as if there is a dizziness or like an unbalance which could come through your ears, because often when we're dizzy or off balance, our ears have a problem, like an infection in the ear, or we're hearing strange things, noises or sounds, or tinnitus, is it? Ringing in the ears. You may also be receiving psychic messages or sounds or clear audience as well at this time. But there's no doubt that being in balance and harmony and resting a little bit to bring that about, and spending time in water, maybe with your feet in water even, could be beneficial. The Eight of Pentacles is also about your finances. It's about just it's not necessarily a reward, but it's saying that there's a degree of kind of like it is the only word I can think of. There's a degree of reward for your hard work and diligence. So this guy there, he is working with his hands, and he has made those gold coins in the background. He's harvested them all away, and with his hard work and craftsmanship, over a period of time, he has become quite proficient, and he has those pentacles in the background, meaning he has a little bit of ability to look after himself, to have saved a little bit, and to have squirreled some away. And that can be due to his physical work, doing the handwork, or his mental application of learning a trade, but also understanding how to save. So that card often means that finances are okay in the background, and that you might be on the road to saving, or on the road to a certain project, or moving through a process of something to do with your finances. Now this could be employment or career, or it could be how you spend your money or how you save it. The other thing that I do always think of with this card is it points to something in the lower back area, and often the base chakra, which can be out of kilter and need a little bit of rebalance. So either healing work, or going to a chiropractor or osteopath, or some Reiki work, or eating the red foods or wearing red. It could mean that there's something going on in that sector of your life that is going through a rebirth one way or another, or you are letting go of something. Now, for some of you, it could even be letting go of a health disorder that took place in that part of the body, of any of the things that I have mentioned before. And some of you, it could have been like a back issue. You may have had a sore back, or kidney problems, or hip problems, or bowel problems, or celiac disease, or irritable bowel. That might be healing itself, or it might be that you are being told to do something about healing it. 2 8s in a row, so 8 could be very relevant to you. The number 8, for some reason, you might be on a project that requires another 8 days, weeks or months for it to manifest or to finish. The 8 in this case is a little less positive than that one, but there's still a degree in here of self, right? He is making money through his own accreditation and ability. She is creating lack of through her own ability and self-accreditation. She can't see the way out because she sits in a place of fear or anxiety. Now, if she could just get that blindfold off, she could see that nothing is actually stopping her from moving forward. So if it's in referencing to this and you are struggling with something around you in your financial sector or your base chakra area or your physical health, then part of it is because you're not seeing the whole picture, or you're not able to through fear or worry. Remember, I said too that everything is a blessing in disguise, even the things that come to test us the most. But we have to be able to see them. We have to be able to take the steps forward and to not be afraid. So with this Death card up here, maybe you're a little bit afraid about taking the new steps forward into some area or dynamic of your life that's coming. I notice a lot of red in the cards too, which is what we referred to in the beginning. But let's see what else is here for Libra. What other messages are you supporting here? Well, that's quite nice. We've got the Temperance and the Star together. I often think of these as sister and waiting type thing because they're so similar. So the Star is really portraying a very similar message to the Temperance. It's about this balance that's required. And of course, Libra, you are the sign of balance. So technically you can harness that energy of bringing balance into your life. There's more messages about water, which of course I mentioned the water before as well. So water could be good for cleansing the body. It could be good for balancing something for you. It could be good for spending time at, for being on holiday with. It could be that you are going to go through like a cellular or DNA restructuring, which could be to do with the Death card. It could be that you need to go on a cleansing diet. You definitely need to incorporate balance into this month. So really get your mojo on, Libras, and bring your ability to harness the energy of balance. This Star card up here, this is like your guardian angel, and these are like spirit guides or celestial cosmic helpers. Sometimes they can be like angelic beings. So for some of you, there is a great propensity for this energy around you in this month of November. You could call upon the celestial helpers. You may talk with them. You might get messages. And I said that before, ringing in the ears, hearing messages, hearing clairaudience. So it's coming through again. For some of you, this could be a very profound month to find answers at the cosmic or celestial level. So keep an eye out for your celestial helpers on the month and the journey as you move forward into 2020. This card also gives a bit of a freedom, degree of sexual liberation and freedom. I'm going to put that up the right way because I think it's the way I hold the cards that make them fall out upside down. So there can be sexual freedom or liberation in this card. There can also be sexual chemistry when this one turns up. So the Four of Pentacles is again a card about the base chakra, about money. He is worried about his money there. He's holding on to it like grim death, but he's got a little bit more than he thinks because he can't even see this one up here. I sometimes think of this card turning up in times when there is travel involved to attend something like an interview. So sometimes some of you might be thinking of applying for work overseas or attending interviews in different areas where you currently live or reside. That's a possibility. There can also be a meaning behind this card about sometimes being gifted a little bit of money by someone who you know, but there's usually a tie with it, like it's loaned to you at a cost. It might be like a grandma or a family member who gives you money and says, well, I'll give you this money, but you've got to come and visit me. So that can be a little bit of an indicator in that card as well. But money-wise, it's not too bad, and neither is the Eight of Pentacles. So just a little bit more for Libra from this deck. Thank you. One more is enough. Maybe we should have stopped at the Four of Pentacles. Anyhow, the Devil. Yeah, for sure, you know, a bit of off balance over here, needing to bring balance in. The Star is also balance, and so is the Devil. So a big month to contemplate what is it that's out of balance? What is it that you need to change or zoosh up or boot out or move on from? We all know what this is. This is about addictions, obsessions. It's about fear and being afraid to move on. So, you know, the Eight of Swords can also be coupled in there. It's about being mistreated and mistrusted and misvalued in life by others. Now, sometimes Capricorn energy plays a role in this card as well. And you may also have Sagittarius and Aquarius play out with these ones. So any of those signs might be involved in situations around some of these cards or issues. So if you are being in a situation where there is mistreatment from others, or you're in a relationship where it's an unhealthy relationship and not balanced and there's lack of respect or trust, then again, inevitably it's up to us, ourselves, to make the move forward, to take the blindfold off and to see the way out. And that can take a great deal of, you know, strength. It can take a great deal of self-realization and energy like the Death card to pull that off and to move into this whole new being and this whole new direction. But I do feel that the Star card being in here for you is backing you one way or another, and it's a card that says we're with you and we have your back if you are wanting to make moves in any directions. So the Devil is a really good time to be able to look at yourself and look at your values, or look at people in your life who aren't fitting into your integrity values, and to make those assessments and move forward into this new, fresh you. So again, playing out in November as being a really strong time of the year to uplift this type of change coming forward for the next 10 years. So for Libra, let's see what we have in this deck for them. What other messages for Libra here? And I knew you would be getting some angels out because of the Star card. And when the Star card comes out, you know, the celestial intervention from my perspective is always very, very powerful. I get the energy, I get it coming straight in. So you've got the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, pulling into this one here. And you know, I talked about a little bit of sexual freedom with the Star card. Well, the second chakra is, of course, also the sex zone of the body, and we mentioned that briefly before. So for some of you, there may be a healing taking place in this area. There may be a freeing up of energy, which could allow you to have intimate relationships with people if there has been some sort of either abuse or fear or pain associated with it through the Devil or the Eight of Swords. There could be healing take place if there's been physical illness or physical disease around this part of the body as well. And also know that this is the creative sector of our body. It's the creative zone. So it's where we fire up our passions and our force of nature is through the second chakra. So Archangel Ariel will be a beautiful angel to call upon for the month with her golden, orangey golden glow, and to utilize that in any way that you wish to do. You can use it as a healing propagation for that part of the body, or for your soul's journey as you journey out of death and into this new realm that you might be possibly walking into. So let's see, she is so beautiful. That's such a soft and gentle card, and Ariel does come in with the most loving, gentle energies, even though she can fire up creative passion. For some of you, this could very much be a new intimate relationship coming, a very close sexual chemistry relationship that could be awakening. So this is for Libra. Yeah, well, we know that the anxiety, you've got to, work through a little bit of this anxiety. And I was saying that to Scorpio, I think they had some anxiety coming through theirs. And I just said, so many of us are in a place of this at the moment because of the way the world is moving. And there is a lot of global anxiety, which the collective connects to, and consequently we're all part of the collective, so those feelings and thoughts run into our own lives as well. But you must do some self-meditation and some self-balance on areas like that in your life, and bring in some healing and re-establish balance, and know that anxiety is brought to us from ourselves and from our inner mind, and that we have the ability to bring ourselves out of it with the right tools and applications. And then when we do, we can sometimes find ourselves in a place such as cornucopia, which is really full of blessings and abundance, and the golden hue again, a little bit like Ariel. So if cornucopia is there for you, you just need to be awakened to it and look for it. It's like that saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. But there are the trees in the forest, and in that forest is a beautiful basket of life's richest treasures, the cornucopia of life. So a little bit more here for you, just one more maybe, just one more for Libra. That one is a really good one to focus on, and we got a taste of it with the 8 of Pentacles in the background. One more for, oh, here we go, down here. What is it going to be? The contract. So it's quite an intense card, and it can take quite a lot of working through. I'll hold it up. The contract again is about balance. And it's the Libran looking energy, the balance, the scales. We've talked about balance with you here in these 3 cards in particular now, which show it very, very clearly. So we don't need to go over the balance. We've already dealt with that. It's just you've got a triple message of it. So the other perspectives of the contract, well, let's start with the easy one. It can be a contract that you sign for something like a new job, which I said could be a possibility over here. If some of you are applying for jobs, looking for work, this could be a good time for you to receive an offer and to be signing a contract. So a contract can also mean like a contract for a lease of a property, or going into a rental, or signing a contract for anything. You can sign a contract to join a gym for a year or 2 years. So it could also be legal contracts that are law binding in terms of to do with accounting or business relationships. Even some of you might be signing a contract such as a dissolution of a business or partnership, or dissolution of a marriage, so like a divorce papers. Now the other thing that the contract can be touching on is soul and karmic contracts. I love this card from that perspective, and that it doesn't come out that often, but it's come out a little bit for November, because we've just walked through this veil of karmic opening and closing of doors. So some of you may have just signed off on a contract that has been with you for a long time, and it is now allowing you to walk into the new realm as you move into this new decade for the 20s. So you have signed off a contract that you were tied into, and it's been a karmic contract, and it may have been very painful, difficult, arduous, or long, and you are moving out of it. This could be through your health, it could be your spiritual contract, it could be, which is a soul evolution, right, at a very deep and personal level. It could have been a relationship contract, so seeing relationships that have been in your life, seeing them move out, and the karma or the debt has been repaid. So you're free now, you're freeing up a level of your life, of your soul's journey. For some of you, this will be a contract you are about to sign into, and some of you, it could amount to this feeling of cornucopia or freedom or manifestation or abundance. You know, freeing up your creativity or passion, even moving into a time of production, you know, and creation. So really, really powerful ending for those bunch of cards that came in. I think we will just look at one of the animal sprite or spirit energy cards for you guys. So this is for Libra to finish their reading. It's got quite a powerful reading. I just knew they all would be. And of course we are moving into Scorpio energy, and Scorpio time of the year is often very, very powerful because they merge in those veil, you know, in between death and life, and the mysterious and the mysteries. So that whole Scorpio time in the year can be quite an awakening time. Good God. There's a whole bunch of things that shot out there. I think there's almost too many to do, but let's start with this one. Reclaim your power. Oh, look at that. It's just beautiful. It's a little bit like Enzo, who came in earlier. It's another cat spirit. And of course, yes, cats do represent freedom. And Enzo regained freedom through his health and his eyesight returning. So regain your power. 44, double number. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. The lion spirit is right next to the panther spirit, and that's be generous of spirit. So be giving and willing and ready, and you know, to be generous of spirit is freeing up the soul and feeling the love and feeling the light and just being in a place of harmony and balance. And that's what being generous of spirit is. Oh, those two cats together. I can feel the energy of the power of those majestic beings. And the third cat that you had in your reading as well. Oh, the nightingale spirit. Love is all around. And we saw a little bit of love in your reading. That's beautiful too. And the wolf. Turn knowledge into wisdom. So you received 4 beautiful animal spirit cards. 3 of them, you know, the big mammals that are very forceful and energetic and protective and empowering and powerful and stealthy and strong and energetic, and then the little delicate, tiny little bright humming nightingale that sits in between all of these, which technically would eat the nightingale, and there the nightingale sits as proud and bold as anything, with no fear and no anxiety, surrounded by what in natural world would be her predators, but in spirit there are no predators. Everything is as one. And that's turning knowledge into wisdom. Wow, I love your reading, guys. You've had a beautiful synchronistic finish to it, and I hope you thoroughly enjoy your reading for November as you contemplate moving into your new decade ahead, and may you find many new beautiful beginnings and much wisdom and power, your own power, and generosity of spirit and love is all around. So thank you again for listening. Tune into your moon and rising signs as well, because all of these readings have been really, really beautiful for the month of November. Much love, guys. Namaste.